guys are always mean to me.
What kind of fucking bullshit is like?
Dude, he does this every week.
The bad news is that civilization is crumbling around you.
Wear a dog mask, cut your dick off, bomb Palestine.
The good news is that you are not alone.
There's butthole shaving videos.
Feel bad for the minorities in LA for having to deal with the white people in LA.
You have 5 till midnight, live every Monday at 8 p.m. where you join 5 Limp Bizkit Americans to laugh at the absurd nonsense of the end of history.
Shit show right there.
Sam, stop it!
That intro never gets old. It never does.
It's really
Great.
good.
It's crazy.
I love
bro.
that
Thank you, guys.
in the beginning. It
Spent a lot of
says
time on it.
shit, like right away. Like it's
I
us.
censor it though.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's
Oh,
But
okay,
I think that makes it better. I think the censoring generally makes it better. Anyways.
yeah, and it has to be because that's at the very beginning of the video, which
Yeah.
is what YouTube cares about. But it also
Well-
means that they less care about swearing once we start actually talking. So our mistakes don't mean as much because we
'Cause I
always
did
swear at the
just
beginning
cuss.
anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I guess we should welcome everybody back. 5 till midnight,
up?
everybody.
everybody's
Yeah. Sam, what's on the docket today?
We have Chinese, American, Russian spies. We have a
Nice.
bunch of other crazy. Yeah, it's heating up. Can't wait until Donald Trump wins the election. But really, we're going to be talking about men's boot camps, men's fake boot camps, which is a topic that was in the zeitgeist a while ago, but it is still worth talking about. Adam, go ahead.
I just think it's gay. That's what I got.
Go be a, yeah,
transition there
go
was
be a manatee.
So abrupt, bro.
go be a manatee in the water with a bunch of dudes and cuddle each other shirtless.
Yeah,
Nothing's,
he's boot camp, bro.
I just,
It's
as 3
pretty good.
dudes who were in the military here, Kyle, Typo, and Sam, I feel like would be a direct slap in my face if I was in the military and I saw a bunch of dudes charging $18,000 a person
Yeah.
to go through what you guys
I'm-
went through and hated.
That's how much
Just so
we
we're
get
clear.
paid in a fucking year in the first year in the military.
Yeah,
which is
Oh.
actually
no joke. No,
I was a
joke.
refrigeration mechanic. Let's be clear here. Okay.
I
Wait, were you really?
Typo and
yeah.
I weren't anything cool
HVAC tech.
either. Like I
No,
was
I
a
know.
radio operator and Typo was Intel, so it's not like we're like the big badasses of the Marine Corps. But
Are you
at the
saying
same
that Typo was kind of like the Fed of the group?
Typo, look at his mustache. Yes,
Of course.
Man,
What
he
a
was,
gay fed.
he was totally the undercover cop in the group. As soon as he
Oh,
could fucking
that's
get that mustache out, he saw Luke and his boys fucking around. And he's like,
I was
I
going
get
to
a
get
promotion?
gunny, dude. I went and got gunny. You never caught me getting gunny. though.
Dude,
But, like-
Typo got hazed his first night by like forcing him to drink a whole bunch of alcohol.
oh,
We didn't
That's
have
very
that, dude.
true.
Yeah,
Sam,
that's
I-
what we
I
did
didn't
at
get
all the
that.
boots.
We got a little bit of hazing, but I mean, nothing I would really even
what would
describe as
be
hazing.
what was categorized as a little bit of hazing?
Fucked in my ass.
Try to remember.
Somebody
we-
licked my butthole.
we-
No, like not even. Like I don't really remember much of anything. They did force us to drink, not on my first night, but they did force us to drink
Oh,
a little
dude.
bit.
So what we would do
It's
is every
technically
time we
hazing, but whatever.
It-
Dude,
yeah,
someone
it's
got chased down and they put a squirt gun filled, I think they had vodka, and they just shoved it in his mouth and just.
No,
I
our
would
guys were
start
chill.
swinging
man.
on people.
It was specific.
everybody- so
mechanics are
everybody
pretty
says
chill.
that.
That's the thing.
Everybody-
It's like
Oh, our mechanics were wild. Our mechanics were
Yeah.
well,
You guys are the
they weren't
Marines, though.
HVAC. So was he.
yeah. Well, no, but my platoon was mixed.
Sure,
There
you're
was
all
only 4 HVAC guys at a maximum. So my
Yeah,
corporal was an
and-
HVAC corporal.
Oh, ours weren't
Utilities.
Ours weren't mixed. We had all white guys.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah,
guys?
utilities is very chill within engineers. Like
So
it's
stupid.
it's very chill.
No, they were
Um,
not chill.
not like
I don't know
engineers.
why, but
Our
I've heard,
utilities? Oh my
I
god.
heard that about other engineer units, but for some reason ours was like super moto. Like
That's
super,
weird.
Like it
They
was
were
weird.
crazy moto.
No, dude, our guys were chill
Insane.
on everything. Like our corporals, our NCOs are chill, and that was true in other utilities units I went to. Like when I was in a battalion, I went to a maintenance battalion, which is just if you're not in the military, maintenance battalion is like that's the place where maintenance guys go to die. You're just there, you're stuck there. It's not a deploying unit. They have to send you to another unit to deploy, and Marines hate not deploying pretty much universally.
Yep.
And like, but we had like, you have engineer company, right? An engineer company has, engineer company has 2 platoons in it, utilities and engineer. And
Yep.
the way that the engineer guys, like utilities is engineering, but like it's
Not.
also not. It's dumb, but utilities is within engineer company, but utilities platoon, and they had their own platoon, the engineers. And dude, the way they got treated versus us was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious.
Not
Um,
on ours.
yeah, I don't give a
because we were
shit.
we were an engineer battalion. Typo and I had our first unit. So
Right, which is similar to
ours-
second maintenance.
Right, but it was
Yeah.
so it was an engineer battalion, but we actually did like our engineers actually did a lot of shit. Like they went to a lot of different places, and our utilities guys went to a lot of different places just because where we were stationed at. So they did a lot of humanitarian missions. But
Mm.
besides engineers and utilities, they were fucking moto as shit. And then you have
What does moto mean?
moto is
Motivated,
like gung ho, like
Oh, okay.
we're the Marine Corps. You call me
Very annoying.
corporal, I'm Lance Corporal. Blah 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 blah. Like
By the
blah blah blah
book.
blah.
Right,
Yeah,
gotcha.
super
Yeah,
by
it's
the book.
annoying as hell.
Yeah, and so then then we had H&S Company, which is headquarters and service. So it's like everybody else, and we nicknamed ourselves Hose and Scumbags Company because we were just like the shittiest Marines you could possibly be, but all got our shit done. Like we were really good at our jobs. We just weren't like the greatest
care.
Marine. Yeah, we didn't care about the Marine.
Low fades, as low as we can get away with it. You know,
Yeah.
we had the wizard sleeves. We all had wizard sleeves all the time, which is like,
yeah, so like our uniforms weren't like pristine, they were just like shitty. Yeah. So but anyways, it's really funny because so every time we got a boot drop, so like new guys came in, it would be a Thursday night, which is our field day, so you have to like go clean your rooms and everybody gets inspected and blah 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 blah. But almost every time we got a field drop, the next day was like a moto run, like a run with the battalion or something like that. So what we would do is we'd get our new boots hammered the night before,
yeah.
make them wake up at 5 a.m. and then go run 3 miles, because then we get to see what you're really made of, which is still more like testing somebody's metal than whatever these guys are doing in these boot camp videos. Like,
Yeah.
I just did 10 minutes on the Stairmaster and I'm exhausted. Imagine running 3 miles drunk.
yeah, dude, it was awesome. It
Yeah,
really,
that's what you just said. Yeah.
it really
comment.
it really like distanced who was cool and who wasn't cool for like our junior guys, you know, like
Yeah, of
I don't
course it
expect them to drink all the time, but see them partying, get to know them on like a personal basis,
Yeah.
and then just totally fucking them up the next day in a battalion run with everybody else. Because battalion runs are kind of slow, you know, they're not like super fast, they're really slow. So just being like, all right, stop being a bitch, dude. Like, we're not even running that fast. I know you're hungover. We all are. We all drank with you. And just seeing how they did. It was a great way
Welcome
to
to the
like
fleet,
lead out the
bitch.
week.
I love how
Yeah.
like every branch of the military or even like the police, we like, you know, like when I was a cop, like
Oh
used
yeah,
to
I'm sure
testing,
they
like,
had stuff like that.
like testing rookies. Like we had this guy, I wouldn't even say his name. He's retired now, but still he was a good friend of mine. He's a psychopath. He was like 6'5", like 350. Like he was a big boy, right? And when I was like 2 years on the job when I met him, so still considered like a rookie, like, you know, it's like under 5 years, like you're like a rookie, quote
yeah.
unquote.
yeah.
And I remember I just met him and we're like in the back, like locker room, just changing. And like we're like fully dressed, like bulletproof vest on, everything like that. He just takes his gun out and puts it into my chest. And I was like, dude, just pull the fucking trigger. And then he's like, all right, you're cool, I can trust you. And then holstered up. I saw him do that like 1,000 more times. Like, and they were like, what are you doing?
Dude, I love that shit. Like that's the
That's a
humor
bit
I
far,
enjoy.
but okay.
Stop being a pussy.
Dude, there was when I was at Camp Lejeune, there was the gate guards. Apparently, I heard this secondhand from guys at Second Maintenance who were there. But the gate guards play this game where they would rack their
I have a game
rifle.
we play.
Dude, okay,
Yeah.
stop laughing. They would play this game where they would rack the rifle, showing a magazine in, like, and the gate guards are always have rounds, and they would like not push it in all the way, and so like you would rack and they would think, and then they would pull the trigger and shoot at you, squeeze the trigger, whatever. Thanks, Luke. Me being at Camp Lejeune explains a lot. Yeah, it was the water made me tarded. Dude, like they and that would and they would like pretend to shoot the person. And then one day the guy pushed the magazine in all the way and he killed another gate guard.
Yeah.
So
And
this is actually, Sam, this is Typo's favorite game. So what we did was,
dude,
what
never,
we-
I would never let somebody do that to me. Absolutely
so what we did, when we all got out of the Marine Corps, it was five. Well, the first house there was three of us. It was me, Typo, and our buddy Nick. And in our second house, it was Jared, who we started this podcast with, Biting the Bullet, and Typo and I, and then one of our other buddies, and then Nick. So there was 5 Marines living in a really nice 5-bedroom house. And Sam got ruined by a driftwood stripper.
I don't think Driftwood is
Driftwood.
there anymore.
Is it not?
We always
everybody
heard stories
knows
about it.
Yeah, but we would play. Is it loaded? Like that was the game that we played. So, and Typo was the most like scared of it. Everybody else had probably a too dark of a streak where we were just like, I hope it's loaded. Like, just do it, dude. Like,
No,
and Typo
because
was like,
90% of the time it was fucking loaded. I know it was loaded, dude.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know
we
it
wouldn't
was
pull the
loaded.
trigger.
Yeah,
So
no,
you
dude,
play
I
that Typo
get
and be
it.
like, "Is it
Condition
loaded?"
1, fucking
I
idiots.
was literally so miserable as a cop. I was like, just please shoot me in the fucking chest. I hope you kill me. I hope this goes right through my vest and kills me. He was like, I can trust you. Good times.
Good times. Good times.
Good times.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah. So like Mike, my question to you guys about this video, that Sam, do you have the like the clips and shit like in the
Yeah.
YouTube channel pulled up? Would you guys knowingly, as you went through boot camp, would you pay someone $18,000 to do this?
No.
absolutely not.
It's fucking.
Oh,
this is
this is
so
different than the one I'm
for
thinking
you.
of. This
Instructor
isn't
Ray
even
and
the
I
worst one.
have had combat operations that have lasted longer than 75 hours. You understand? 75 hours of active combat.
Yes,
you
I
guys are
understand.
playing a fucking
I-
game. You paid to be here. This is for fun. This is
Rare.
for growth. This ain't gonna kill you. Well, Instructor Steve might kill you. Nobody's shooting at you. There's no fucking enemy. You know who the enemy is here? You! You're the fucking enemy. You're the adversary. And you're all worried about yourself. You want to finish this thing fucking strong? Stop worrying about yourself. Start worrying about the brother to your left and your right. Let me break this down for you. Instructor
So,
Dude, it's
first,
obnoxious.
where did they
It-
use 75
sounds
hours of active combat? in a
exactly-
row?
Yeah, that doesn't
Like-
make any sense.
I think.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
Rex, oh, sorry, Kyle. Real quick. Rex is the one who sent me this shit, and he was like, "None of these guys saw combat time." Sorry, Kyle. Go.
no, it's okay. It kind of reminds you when people say like, "Hey, you know, I work like 12 or 24 hours or 36 hours straight." It's like you're not actually like nose of the grindstone working. Like you may be on, you may be like on call or actively on the clock, but like you're not moving and really fucking busting your ass for hours and hours and hours straight. So I think that was kind of the impression that I think he was hoping to give when he said it was 75 hours of active combat, but
Dude,
you're not
but that-
literally nose to the fucking, you know, to the iron sight
So,
for 75
the-
hours straight.
the
But he said active combat.
Yeah,
he made the
active.
distinction.
Right.
That's crazy. That's not a
Yeah.
thing. They would have pulled
Right.
you out far before then. We use air superiority and stuff. Like that wouldn't they wouldn't let you your
Unle-
combat ineffective. You like
Right? How
Unless
would
he
you
was
be
part
like
of-
not tired?
unless he was part of fucking what's 13 hours? What's the
Oh yeah, 13 hours.
Benghazi?
That's it.
Unless like Benghazi didn't even last. That was that was what I would say is active combat, and that was 13 hours. Like,
Black Hawk
I
Down
don't
was like a
know.
day.
Yeah, 24 hours. Yeah, and it's like you said, Kyle. There, like I don't know. There's no way that they did 76 hours of active combat
Right.
ever. And like just at the beginning of this, it's a sad state of affairs when grown men, whatever age these guys are that are going to these classes, that they feel like they have to. Like we're just doing a very poor job of getting men to be men, where they feel like they have to pay somebody $18,000 to go through boot camp, basically, instead of just going to boot camp. If
Instead
you
of
really
just
need
fucking
that.
instead of getting stuffed in a locker by your friends. But I mean, this
Yeah.
is like the whole dad experience, right? This is what everybody wanted out of Jordan Peterson, and then he ends up on a bunch of benzodiazepines, and then ODs in Russia or whatever. Everybody, yeah, everybody's looking for dad, and that's essentially what this is. That hey, my dad didn't love me enough, so I need to go to this camp so somebody can yell at me and tell me how awful I am, and then after a few days, they're going to tell me how great I am and how great I did. Shut up. You're fine. You're going to be okay. You don't need dad 2.0. Fucking
just-
go out there and live your life, bro.
Nobody's
Yeah.
dad loves them. Would you
Yeah.
love you? Like, come on.
Yeah, my dad loves me, but that sounds like a problem for you guys. But yeah, no, it's like wild. Like these guys are such like I feel like it's like that. Like like the loudest person in the room is always like the biggest pussy type thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what this comes
Adam.
off of. Yeah, I'm just laughing. That doesn't count. Like I feel like these guys are just like trying to prove like I was tough in the fucking military, and it's like, were you?
And-
It's like
So I'll just say for his business model, he has to be the toughest guy in the room. So like
Right,
he has
right.
to like put that on. So I will say that that's probably like a business decision. And if he was in a group with some fucking killers, I don't know if he fucking acts the same way. He probably acts chill if he was actually in the military and did a lot of active operations and stuff
Well,
like
it
that.
says this guy
Probably-
was Marine Corps Force Recon, so maybe
and
actual.
and to be honest, the recon guys don't do shit. Our recon guys don't do shit,
they present
don't.
themselves as special forces, but they're not.
but they're not.
Right.
They're
The
not.
lowest
We have a
level.
special forces.
Well, they're not
Yeah.
special forces. They're within. They're explicitly conventional regular forces. Like they're just not.
I feel like so you're saying like this guy was in a group of like hardened SEALs. He just shut the fuck up too sweet.
Oh no!
Well,
Oh
and
yeah,
he'd probably
this
just
guy's
go,
not
yeah.
anywhere
Probably
close
just-
to.
That's what I'm
this.
saying. Yeah. Right. That's what
And
I'm
he
saying.
would recognize that likely. I don't think he would deny that. By the way, I don't think he's pretending he is. Like Force Recon is no joke, but it's like a step above regular Marine infantry, which is
Yeah.
it's impressive, but it's not like SEALs and like Marine Raiders, which is the actual special.
Maybe
special
That was my
operations.
question. What is the
Marsoc.
Marine Special Forces? I never hear about it.
It's
legitimately called
Marine Raiders
Special
is
Operations.
MARSOC. No, they
Yeah.
changed the name to Marine Raider. But
Oh, they
yes, it in like 2017.
So what do they do? Like, what is their function?
Well, they
So
do
they're-
kind of what SEALs do.
Yeah, they're very similar to SEALs.
Okay.
So basically Marine Special Operations, Marines never really had a special operations like group for a long time.
Yeah.
Most
Right.
of the Marine Corps, we didn't have one.
Force Recon
that's why we-
was the top, but
Force
still
Recon was the
conventional.
top.
The closest.
Yeah. And so like, yeah, our recon guys did a lot of that type of stuff, but they didn't do it like full bore because we had the SEAls and then we had
They're not operators.
Delta, we had Rangers, we had different things in
pararescue.
the Army.
Well, Rangers are
so-
kind of like Force Recon though, but they're more
Absolutely.
combat oriented.
But Delta
Yeah.
Force was the fucking army.
That's all of them.
Delta is kind
Delta
of like
Force
a
is like
combination
SEAL
of-
Team 6.
Yeah.
They're
So
like the
it's-
elite of the operators.
Right, and the Air
And-
Force is what the
Anybody
parajumpers.
can be a part of it.
Yeah,
Like,
parajumpers.
PJs,
right?
PJs are dope. They're fucking
PJs are
badasses.
at that level.
does
just
Coast Guard have
different
one?
Thing.
No,
No. They're not
they have, like,
military.
I don't know if it's
No,
differentiated.
but it's their rescue divers. Their rescue divers
Oh,
are
okay.
like the top tier.
I
They're
wonder
like
what
but
Space
that-
Forces is.
But rescue divers are very impressive. Also in the Navy, they are, but they're still below parajumpers, Marine Raiders, pararescue in the Air Force, Marine Raiders, and special forces.
There is a group that does some pretty high speed, low drag shit. We had a guy on our podcast a few times. He was a good buddy of ours. We kind of lost contact with him, but he ran a podcast and stuff like that. But he was Coast Guard and he was part of like all the Somali pirate shit. And it was all U.S. Coast Guard that did all that. It wasn't the U.S. like U.S. Navy was a part of it, but they weren't like the main part of it. But they were getting sent to U.S. Navy ships and then going out on patrols from U.S. Navy ships to patrol the Somali pirates and stuff like that. So there is
And
a
the
Coast
sea
Guard,
border
yeah, and the sea border.
with
So the-
Mexico
the,
for cartels and stuff.
there's
We've
part
shared
of the
that video
Coast Guard
before,
that's pretty
remember?
badass. Yeah.
The dude punching the
Yeah.
oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, but so there is a
Seven.
part of that where the Coast Guard does have some high speed guys. Every military branch and the Coast Guard kind of gets thrown in and out of that. Is it a military branch? Is it not? Has their like special guys, like their
Right.
top elites. Delta is technically part of the Army, but it's kind of a combination of the top tier guys that they can get. Majority of it come from the Army and from the SEALs. But MARSOC kind of took over a lot of operations in the Middle East during like the middle 2010s period. And it went well. It was kind of like a see if the Marine Corps can stand up a special operations command. And then everything kind of like it just hasn't been talked about. They're kind of silent killers. They're not as flashy. They're not as like biggest
much newer.
SEALs, and they're
Yeah.
way newer, so they don't have like
Right.
the name. But
If they're gonna for the
fucking-
most high profile stuff, they're gonna use SEAL Team 6 or they're gonna use
Oh, yeah.
the top army guys.
Pull up Eddie's comment. It's hilarious.
Coasties has the anti-narcos guys that are pretty well trained for
That's-
a bunch
yeah.
of
no joke, dude. They can, and SEALs, Dickie Walnuts, fucking SEALs, but they can't write books.
Yeah, that was funny too.
SEALs, they write a lot of books though. They think they can write books. That's for sure.
Dude, when I
I'm
was
surprised this guy doesn't have a book. He definitely has a podcast.
dude. But look, I'm sorry.
Good.
Before you do this, look at the views on this. Like these ones, whatever, because like I guess this is a female podcast hosted on their
79
page.
views. Hey,
Am I the
79
only one
views
that
in a
can't see- I'm
day.
sorry to interrupt, but I can't see the views. It's just a
great.
little too small.
Yeah, it's small. Just
Okay.
what's
Okay.
what's the
Well,
number?
I'll just tell you, it's 79 views on this one a day ago, 171 on 3 days ago. Like I get more than that.
It was just saying this
Um,
looks like high definition like video, like they did. good for the
342,000
thumbnail.
subscribers.
How do you get
Yeah,
John Bernthal or whatever?
It's probably
How do you get
buying
that?
fucking subs.
Oh,
I mean, I don't
well,
have the
he's
right
probably getting
page,
paid by
Rex.
the
I
government.
have what Adam sent me.
I sent a bunch of stuff. What
I know,
Rex?
I-
What's the right page? Just throw it in the comments. While that's happening, when I was still in the NYPD, I would take like a lot of extra like training because it was like free money. Like they would just offer you a shit ton of overtime. So I did like a lot of like extra weapons courses and all this shit. I at one point while I was still on the job got propositioned to go private overseas like security for ships.
That's the way to do it.
You know, and I was like seriously interested because I was like, I want to shoot pirates in the face. It sounds fun. They're like $70,000. Like I make more here. Why the fuck would I
Oh,
do
see,
that?
a lot of
for that much money, that little money.
Typo and I got offered a few like contracts once we got out, just because I was a radio guy and I had a top secret clearance, and Typo was an intel guy, so they were really looking for intel guys mostly. But I mean, it was 6 months, 100K, maybe a little bit more depending on the thing, and tax free. And
I would have
like,
done that if that was the
Oh,
proposition I got. I would
shit.
have done it in 2 fucking seconds, dude.
Yeah, but I was so far like disenfranchised from the military that I
Yeah,
wanted
fair.
nothing to do with it.
It was
I was
private
like,
though, right? It wasn't like
It was private, but
Yeah.
you're still
You're
working.
contracted, yeah.
right. But
And
it
I
would
was
be cool to
just
shoot
like,
pirates in the face.
It would be cool if that's what it was. It was always like, it was always like
It
fucking,
was like Camp Leatherneck, and if you know anything about Afghanistan and Camp Leatherneck, it's like the chillest place to be
Yeah.
in Afghanistan.
or like
as a
Qatar. And I
military.
was like, I don't want to go to Qatar. Like, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Why not?
Fuck Qatar. That place
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah,
Huh.
fuck Kuwait too. That was Iraq took that over, right?
That one too.
At one point, fuck Kuwait.
Yeah.
It's a modern day night project, I think, or modern day night. Yeah, night project. That's the page that Rex was talking about.
MDK project.
Yeah, MDK project. That had a bunch of terrible gay shit on it too. Just a bunch of dudes trying to fucking LARP to be SEALs. It's fucking pathetic.
Dude, Sean Ryan has some like really good interviews with some really interesting people, and then there's a lot of it that's just like circle jerk military stuff, and I'm just like, this guy is fellatioing himself right now. Like, oh my god.
Well, Sean Ryan, he was active. He was a SEAL, right?
I have no idea.
I thought it was CIA.
No, well, something. That's even worse. honestly.
I could be wrong about that.
That's even fucking less trustworthy.
By the
Kyle,
way,
what do you-
just
oh,
the special operations guys, they're basically criminals. Like a lot of them. They're in like criminal
Oh, yeah.
networks. That's like an open secret in the military.
Sounds
yeah,
awesome.
they have to be.
They run drugs and shit. Like they're
They're
in
the ones that
prostitution
are-
rings.
They're the ones that are like giving money to like the terrorists. Like they
Yeah.
It didn't sound like Cobra Commander. Like that's what it sounds like. Like they're Team Cobra.
I was gonna ask Kyle, what do you think about, because you're big in the red pill stuff. What do you think about this shit? Like, besides just the Jordan Peterson stuff, like, why do you think there's such a need for this right now? Because this isn't the only
because
one.
once again,
There's a-
guys need that. Guys want dad 2.0. They didn't have life hard enough. Their dads didn't love them enough, and they're looking for some kind of way to impose external struggle on themselves. For me, my struggle was a hard childhood, and then get my fucking teeth metaphorically kicked in for years in the automotive industry. I didn't need to go out and pay. I can't even imagine doing this, paying absorbent amounts of money to go have somebody basically play dad 2.0 so that way you can kind of get your life straight. These guys are generally probably fuck ups with more money than they have brains because they can't fucking figure it out. It's
society is soft.
But this is so
Yeah.
superficial. It's like the Marine Corps boot camp or any boot camp. It has value because of everything else around it. It's
Because of its
and it's
legacy.
not a 3-day.
but yeah,
It's like
right.
you go
guys,
through
guys
this,
want the brother. Guys want the
3
brother.
days.
but it
But
doesn't exist
fake
in a
brotherhood.
3-day course. It's not real. It's superficial.
But that's
It's
what they
the
want.
reason,
Right.
but it's okay. That's fine. I don't care if that's what they want. It doesn't have like the practical effects because it doesn't. It's
I
not
don't
real.
think
Like the
Kyle's
reason.
saying is it's effective.
Oh no, I'm not even arguing against
Okay.
Kyle. I'm talking about the thing in general. I'm not disagreeing with Kyle. I understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like you can't remove boot camp or experiences in it. Number one, it doesn't work if you do it for 3 days. It's a much longer process. But this is like it's like a Hollywood version of it. And obviously these guys actually did go through military stuff, but there's no reason to believe that like I'm sure there's some benefits to it, but like thinking that it's going to have like a large desired effect, I don't think that's a thing at all. Like I don't think
Yeah.
No, I agree.
it matters outside of its
wholeheartedly.
own context.
I honestly, high school football camp in summer has more of a brotherhood than fucking
Absolutely.
3 days.
Yes.
Probably.
I'm serious.
So-
100%. No,
this
we
also
100% agree.
This kind of ties into like the whole OnlyFans deal too, right? Is that a lot of guys think that a lot of guys are just paying for OnlyFans because they want to see chicks nude, which like that's hands down definitely a large reason, but it's also the girlfriend experience, right? Because you feel like
Mhm.
you're having an interaction with a woman because you're
Yeah.
too scared to go up and actually improve and talk to a woman, which once again, I try to stress this point as much as possible to like get fit,
Mhm.
change your life for the better. The bar is so fucking low because most people just do not want to do anything to make their situations better. Go lift 2-3 days a week. You're already above probably like 40, 50, 60% of people. Get your diet right.
Totally
That's
agree.
80% right there. It is literally that fucking easy. The curb is this fucking high. You can get over it super easy. But once again, with this whole boot camp deal, with the OnlyFans stuff, it's a girlfriend experience, it's that experience. It's an experience I never got to have because I'm too much of a shut-in. All my life is provided for me. I have a beer, ice cream, and video games sitting at home waiting for me. And I get it. The incentive isn't necessarily there for you to get out and go, make your own journey, but it requires work. If you're not willing to put in the work, okay, well then, maybe the Dad 2.0 and the OnlyFans boot camps or whatever seem like a good deal to
Boot
you.
camp sounds hilarious.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Whores going through the ringer. Yeah, but
Camp.
like no,
OnlyFans boot camp.
yeah. But no, Kyle makes a good point. It's like also OnlyFans is like personalized. It's even more personalized than porn, right? Because you could like
Exactly.
send money
Right.
for a specific message to a chick to be like, "Ooh, daddy, like I love you." It's like it's
Or
way
your name.
right. So I'm saying right. It's like way more personalized. It's gross and weird. And I
It
also
is
blame
weird.
dudes for OnlyFans.
Dude.
OnlyFans only exists because of dudes.
Absolutely. No,
So-
you're entirely correct. Like that's my thing when people start railing on OnlyFans chicks. It's like, yes,
Yeah.
and also like fuck the dudes that keep paying
Right.
for it. Like what the fuck?
Like they make so. I mean, some chicks make how much money in a month
Crazy.
for like
Triple
crazy
or
money.
like
Just
fucking
to be
six
clear,
figures
most
a
don't make
month.
anything.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
saying.
I,
I mean, you're right.
think they said
Everything.
the average.
But entirely mid people. It's not like the
Right.
top tier. It's just it's a content creation, right? So absolutely, there's gonna be it's gonna be incredibly oversaturated.
Yeah.
Majority of people aren't going to make anything, but the people that do are making exorbitant amounts
Yeah.
of money.
And you're
So,
saying
I
there's
think
body
Seem
and
like
and soul
everybody can
for-
do it. And I think that's the problem is they're making it sound like anybody can just do it. So then more women that probably would have never or should never do it. And then it
Yeah.
kind of screws over parts of their life because they're
It-
like, what the fuck? I just
They get
did it
all
a
the
couple
negatives
times."
and none of
Yeah.
the positives.
Right.
All the
Absolutely.
negatives. Like it
I'm
doesn't
saying-
get worse unless you're doing really vile stuff on there.
You're selling your
Very hard.
dignity and your fucking soul for maybe $100 a month extra. It's like,
Well,
like, what the fuck you
and
doing?
like I don't think it's going to be interesting seeing 10, 15 years down the
Dude, it's
road
gonna be
because like I
great.
think a lot of these girls don't understand the long-term consequences. So it's either going to go one of two ways, and I think it's probably going to go for the worse. But either you're going to have a lot of women who kind of get older and then figure out like, oh, I've completely ruined my sexual marketplace value. Like nobody wants anything to do with me because you can get the milk for free, so to speak.
Yeah.
Or it's going to come so normalized that people are just like, oh yeah, I just don't care. Like, oh yeah, she has an OnlyFans, so yeah, dude, whatever. Like, you know, we all know somebody that has it, and it kind of surprised me when I found out there were girls that I used to hang out with that people were like, oh yeah, you know, that you can go. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Fucking small town Pennsylvania women are doing this kind of shit, so it's fucking common, and I don't think it's going away. So the only real way to deal with it is to deal with it.
Also,
There's
you got
go
like.
ahead.
No, now I have to draw. Fuck. All right, you pointed me first. No, I was gonna say, like, how many also of these women have kids, and when their kids are in school, they're gonna be like, "Your mom's a fucking whore." It's like you're psychologically abusing your kids too, and they're gonna print it out and just put it up in your locker 100%. So
that's kind of what I was gonna bring up because there's like 2 or 3 TikToks. There's this girl that does it apparently, and she does a podcast too. But she does it with her younger brother who's like in middle school, and she's like she just does a regular podcast. She doesn't do the OnlyFans with her brother. She does the podcast.
That was a good clarification. I was like, what?
Yeah. I saw 2 of your faces, and I was like, whoa.
I'm still grossed out though.
Yeah, no,
like,
it's
what's
weird.
the podcast about? Is it about like Star Wars? Because that's fine. But
no, they kind of just talk about life and stuff like that. And,
okay,
but I don't think he's on all the
If
time.
she uses it to advertise her OnlyFans with her brother on, that's disgusting.
So just wait. Yeah, this is the problem. Is like she's like there was one, and it went viral like I probably like last year or 2 years ago. And I don't know if he's on all the time or if he gets brought on every once in a while to just like hang out and be like, oh, little sister talking to her little brother. Or big sister talking to her little brother kind of thing. And he's like middle school, and maybe now he's like freshman year of high school. But basically, the first video that I've seen of these two, and I never remember their names, but he was like, the first video was, she was like, well, they were kind of talking about the OnlyFans thing. And she's like, well, how does it affect you? And he was like, it's literally ruined my life. Like kids will come up to me and like fucking this, that, or the other. And there's been a recent one, and he just basically calls her a slut, like on the show. It's really fucking, it's kind of funny, but it's also incredibly sad. Yeah, it's like also incredibly sad. But then
that guy's going to be a right-wing extremist.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like he's gonna be crazy. And she looks like distraught, and she was like, well, do you let it affect you? And he's like, how can I not? They're like coming up to me and being like, you know, I've seen your sister's vagina. You know what I mean? Like, and then there was a recent one that I just saw that came out, and I don't know if it was from the same time frame. It looks like it's newer, but the newer one was same thing. And he was like, there's a kid at school. She was like, they were talking about something. She was like, how has your life most been affected by it? Or blah, 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 blah. And this whole thing kind of makes me think that she's using him to promote it, which kind of goes back to what you're talking about, Sam, is like, now people are going to go to her site because they've seen her get this viral clip of her brother basically calling her a hoe and blah, 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 blah. But so it makes it weird to me.
Yeah,
it's super
weird.
Weird.
It's exactly why those girls still go on the whatever podcast. Like, they're gonna get like trashed and dogged, and there's gonna be a clip of like Andrew Wilson like making fun.
But guess what?
But their numbers and subscribers are about to shoot through the roof. So it's worth it.
That's exactly what it is too. I mean, that's kind of the whole, as we call them, the White Claw Power Hour. The whole fucking circuit there is that they'll have the OnlyFans girls on, and then guess what? Tons of new subscribers, the same guys that are sitting there sounding off in the comments and like, look, fucking fill your boots with that shit. But like, it's funny to see people who moralize about this kind of stuff. It's like, okay, well, now you're spending time with these people, you're promoting them through your name. Like, this whole circuit is only possible because you continue to feed into it. And like, you know, women have agency. They're deciding to do this of their own accord.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine by me. I don't agree with it, but hey, you know what? They're going to do what they're going to do. The only thing I can control is myself, how I react to it. And, you know, you could shame them all you like, but guess what? They're fucking laughing the whole way to the fucking bank.
Yeah.
That podcast should just blur their faces out and just have anonymous names so they can't promote their bullshit. Trash these whores.
If they wanted to actually have like legit conversations with these types of people, that's what they should do. But
Right.
it's not about that. And it's almost like it's like the pages on on Twitter that do they're like, oh, I bet you haven't seen this video, and nobody follows them. Like none of my friends follow them, but it's like some fucking
Engagement
random
farming.
account. Yeah, it's
Right.
engagement farming.
It's like
and
Ian Miles Chong, basically.
Yeah,
Ian Miles
same
Chong
thing.
with the Claw Power Hour.
Same thing, but everything underneath it is just like OnlyFans girls posting to those threads, and it's their OnlyFans, and you're just like, oh, so this post was literally just and then you get like sometimes you'll get a community notes that's like,
this goes
this
against
is
Texas rules.
Oh no, this is actually a paid ad. This guy is an advertiser for OnlyFans girls. This isn't an actual like blah 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 like, true post. And it's like don't hate the player, hate the game, but at the same time, like I don't think a lot of people are talking about the men issue that is the problem with the game because
I totally agree. Totally agree. Again, we fund it as men.
Yeah.
It's like so there would be no platform if guys didn't seek it. So that's pretty fucking obvious.
And
I did see
the girls, dude. It's gonna suck for the women, bro. I'm telling you.
I did see a funny clip
down the road.
of the Whatever podcast though, where the chick was wearing like a cross, and the guy was like, "So you
Yes.
you wear a cross?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You think God would want you to do that?" And she's like, "Yeah, I think he just wants me to be happy." He's like, "So God wants you to make porn?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, what about the devil?" She's like,
What do you?
he's like, what do you think he wants you to do? She's like, stop making porn. So he's like, so the devil wants you to stop making porn.
and
Very
she
funny.
looked
And
so confused. She looked so
well,
confused.
she's a dumb fucking whore. So of course she was confused. But like, but that podcast sucks because of that. Like all the reasons we just said, like just promoting fucking promiscuity and shit.
I think its purpose has already been served. Like I think there was maybe a time
started out
like oh yeah, this is good. You can like make these people need to be embarrassed, but now it just keeps going, and it's like okay, well now I get what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what a lot of those shows have kind of turned into, and I watch them generally when like people I know or I'm friends with are on them, but like other than that, the value's fucking tapped. Like if it is like the most mind-numbing content.
Dude,
they
the
go
Daily
for, like,
Wire's on there now, so it's like
Candace Owens is on there, Charlie Kirk, Michael Knowles, Lila Grace Rose, all of these people, and basically it's just
the same.
You're yelling at women, telling them they ain't living right, and
once
again, it's retarded.
It's the same thing as going to liberal colleges and owning them and putting it on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's the same.
It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
You're not going to change their mind. They probably won't change their mind until they're out of college. Like that's not going to happen.
Yeah. And Rex just put on there. He's like, whatever podcast is the dark side of the red pill, Andrew Tate worshiper, end of the internet. So that's why
Andrew Tate is the dark side of the red pilling stuff.
Well, that's what he just said. But I just think it's kind of like, I know Kyle you always talk about it. You're like, they're not red pill. And it's like, they may not be red pill like how you,
but that's the common perception.
But that's the common perception of what red pill is. So it kind of tarnishes what other like true red pillars are. And it's the Libertarian Party. It's it's the same thing in all of these where it's like, well, they're the loudest and they're getting the most.
You're judged. People judge them by their worst, by generally the worst people in the group, and you see this happen in political stuff. I mean, generally people like to do this because it's like a straw man, right? You find the worst members of a group and you judge the entire group by the worst members. And it's kind of funny because Rollo is one of the bigger dudes in the whole manosphere space, and I remember him saying a couple years ago, he's like, I hope the red pill doesn't go mainstream because you get this retardation where like, okay, there's information here for guys to figure out, okay, maybe I can improve my marriage. Maybe I can improve how I approach women. Maybe I could even get myself a raise at my job to learn like social dynamics.
Yeah.
But when you have Andrew Tate, Myron Gaines, Pearl Davis, who act like fucking ass clowns on the internet for entertainment, then now you don't get guys that good information that they could potentially use. You get them mindless fucking entertainment. Like occasionally I'll scroll through and I'll catch myself watching it for a little bit. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Like this is just fucking retarded. I'm moving
it's still
on to
like an
something more
entertainment fact. Like you still laugh because it's fucking retarded. So you're like, huh? And like, oh wait, this is trash. But it's like I did that with I do that with sports. I watched the Giants play for fucking 3 hours. I want to kill myself. So it's like, we all get sucked into shit. It's like,
Yeah, I just think I think it's kind of like two sides of the same coin. This fucking there's a problem with men in Western society right now, I think. And I think that's kind of what it boils down to is men are what are supposed to like navigate through things and be, like leaders and caretakers and things like that, and we're just not doing a good job at it, or like the previous generation didn't do a good job at it. So we have a lot of like really needy dudes now, and they're all looking for a quick buck, a quick fuck, and that's all they're doing. And they'll do it the cheapest way possible, and that's over the internet.
What's the book Coddling of the American Mind, right? Wasn't that
Yeah.
the book? Where that's essentially about like Gen X, like helicopter parenting all these fucking kids because their parents treated them like shit, and now we have pussies. And like, yeah, kind of checks out.
Yeah. The check marks and the boxes are filled. Like, that did it.
I think in that book they even like explain the peanut allergy is actually because of helicopter parenting.
Yes.
Because like the peanut allergy wouldn't be as bad if they exposed their kids early on to it that were allergic. They would build immunity to it and then be able to have it. But when there was a bad side effect, they just took it away from them and kept it out of their life. So it actually made peanut allergies more common in our society as people are adults because they were keeping it away from them instead of.
I think that's kind of the same thing that happened with gluten, because gluten has been a mainstay in all cultures historically forever.
Yeah.
And now there's gluten allergies all over the place.
Dude,
Can't eat bread.
What's that Louis C.K. joke where he's like, it's terrible for a child to die of a peanut, but maybe if you get wiped out by a nut, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah.
You're just
Natural
diluting
selection.
the gene pool with fucking weak other men. It's like
Yeah,
weak genes and shit.
The only thing I kind of want to tag on to the end of what Luke was saying there earlier is that like guys don't have a lot of incentive. And I'm not saying this is necessarily a justification to like lay down and die, but like, so the whole legal order when it comes to being married and generally even socially, like what do we always say is that like people, if you get a false grape accusation, then you're generally guilty until proven innocent. And like we even seen this with like the whole the Russian asset deal, where like people's reputations get completely fucking destroyed immediately as soon as there's an accusation. So like one of the stories that I think about a lot is the Emma Sulkowicz she was known as Mattress Girl. This was a completely false story that even Barack Obama promoted, right? This kid's life was ruined, and it was verifiably proven false in court, but this kid was thrown out of college, lost all his scholarships and everything. Yeah, got completely destroyed on completely false pretenses where there was even text messages, video, everything that proved that this dude was innocent, and yet his entire life got destroyed. So, and once again, I'm not saying this is a justification for guys to just lay down and die, but like when you look at like the general dynamic now where we live in a global sexual marketplace where women generally have the perception they can do a lot better than they can, and men also have a little bit of an altered perception because of like readily available porn and stuff like that. You can kind of understand where people are like, this is fucked up, I'm backing out. I don't agree with that decision, but you can understand it. And once again, inside of a marriage, guys don't have the same authority that a woman does, because generally, how often is it that a guy gets alimony? It's like literally less than 10% of the time, right? So there's a lot of legal and social dynamics that go completely against men. So I kind of understand why guys are like, I don't know about this, but once again, I'm not saying I agree with it. You can generally work around it. And if you choose not to get fucked and you fight back, you're probably going to be okay. But I can understand why people are like, I don't know, that's a little bit much risk for me.
Dude, Kyle, to piggyback your point, this just happened on Thursday Night Football. Matt Araiza, who got drafted by the Bills last year as a rookie punter, right? Which is also crazy. Punters getting drafted.
Yeah.
So he gets drafted by the Bills, right? Some girl goes, he raped me in San Jose State. He's like, what? So he doesn't get arrested. I don't think he gets to investigate all that shit. Turns out this girl completely made it up. She lied. She openly admitted she lied. He misses a whole year of football because the Bills cut him immediately. As soon as she said it, cut him immediately. Then, but to even cap this off, now we all know this was fake, right? Thursday night, the Chiefs sign him as their starting punter. He comes out for the first punt. Fucking Mike Tirico goes, Matt Azaria for his first NFL kick, charged sexually accused of sexual assault. Why are you even bringing it up?
Yeah.
It's still this guy was cleared and they're still talking about it on national television. It's like,
you know what I would do if I were him, or even like talk to your coach about
So-
that. Fucking sue him for defamation. Say if you're going to
he
continue,
said he was accused of sexual assault, which is true.
I know, but
So it's like, yeah, I know, dude. It's crazy though. It's like, why even
Yeah.
bring it up? It's like,
I know, dude. I missed
Well,
that. God, that's horrible.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Trevor Bauer. He's a major
Yeah.
league baseball player where he did have sexual relations with this lady, and it was of the bizarre and freaky kind. And he got. She basically said that he raped her, and he lost everything. He was the starting pitcher for
Oh,
the
yeah, that's
LA
right. I remember the
Dodgers.
closer.
Or he was a big time closer for the Dodgers, like the closer, like
Yeah.
one of the best
The
in
premier
baseball.
closers in baseball.
Yeah, and literally lost his entire career, and he would not settle. He was like, "I'm not settling out of court. I'm not settling out of court," and proved it. Went to court. There was proof that she was trying to get money
He had
from him.
text messages to her friends being like, I'm going to take him for his million. Like
Yeah.
straight up just being like, I
I
lied.
just secured the bag. I
Yeah.
just secured the bag, like shit like that, and proved it in court. And he was relegated. Dickey put it up there. He was relegated
to
Japan.
Mexico.
And now,
who's the
well,
strikeout
he played
record.
he played in Japan, and now he's in Mexico he's been trying to get on a minimum deal back in the MLB, and no team will touch him, even though there's
crazy.
teams that could use him right now. And
Dude,
he's still launching.
verifiably innocent. Like
Yeah.
dude's wild.
was.
It's like,
I mean, it was the big thing in the military. Like everybody was like, if you get an accusation of any kind, you're fucked. Like as a dude, like you're
Oh
just
yeah.
fucked. So it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was like every time, like I was an NCO, so like a middle manager is kind of how I explain it in the civilian world, and I'd have to check rooms. Well, I had females in my platoon and stuff like that, and it was like every time I walked in, I grabbed another NCO. Like every time I walked into one of their rooms, I'd grab another NCO, female NCO from another platoon because we didn't have any in our platoon, and I would make them go with me through their rooms because I was like, I am not
Oh yeah.
fucking messing.
CYA, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cover
Yeah,
your
I wouldn't.
fucking ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that
crazy.
happened. That happened to a guy in my intel school, actually. He got accused of rape or grape, whatever.
like
And whatever. Yeah. And he got accused of this. But so they did the investigation. It turned out it was a married woman that accused him. And then it turned out he got acquitted and he still lost his intel job. He still had he became a cook, dude. In which, if anyone doesn't know, this is like the worst place you could go. Like if you join on a contract that you choose, kind of choose whatever job you want, and then you fail that or they kick you out for whatever reason, most of the time they send you to be a cook because no one wants to be that. And it's like the worst, like one of the worst.
It's worse
jobs.
than you think.
Yeah.
It's not only are you a cook in the Marine
chill,
Corps,
it's not
People
chill.
treat you like
It
a
is
child.
not chill. Dude. I don't know why the cooks are so hardcore on each other, but it's crazy. What like I'm like, getting ready to go out like for PT one day, and this dude's screaming in this guy's face in front of everybody. And it's the cooks, dude. They're acting like they're about to go to fucking war, dude. It's the cooks.
that is wild, dude.
The cooks are crazy.
It's funny 'cause that's like the opposite of. I think I told this story on here before, but I'll tell it again because it's kind of worth it. When I was still new in
That
the
shit cracked me
NYPD,
up, sorry.
and yeah, that is hilarious. Yeah. I was like new in the NYPD, and there was this lieutenant in the precinct I was assigned at the time, and he would go over to Thailand and just bang underage boys.
Oh, we had a
God.
And then,
similar
dude,
things.
so he
We hated
came
him.
back, and they were like, "Well, it's not illegal, so we're going to demote you one rank to sergeant." It's like,
Oh
what?
my God.
Like,
Yeah, well, like
well, they don't.
at
They
that
probably
point-
don't have any more recourse than that.
Yeah, well, like in
Yeah.
that kind of in that kind of situation, you kind of have to question his judgment. Like if you're
That's my
screwing
point,
around with
yes.
little boys, then
You
it's
should
like,
get rid
okay,
of them. Yeah.
yeah, like if he's on the job and he gets into a situation where he has to deal with a child, don't you think like, hey, maybe his judgment's a little skewed on this? We can't have him in these kind of situations. I know you guys agree with that, but that would be like the first thing that comes to mind.
Lieutenant was like 2 up, so it was like cop and detective were the same rank. Then it was sergeant, then lieutenant, right? So like he was like pretty that's a pretty good gig in the NYPD. He's like, lieutenant's like a pretty good spot. And they're like, man, go down to sergeant. It's like he's still in charge of people.
Everybody, probably the people ahead of him, they were like, "Hey, what's the number of your place?"
I think
like,
there's a unit thing. on
Yeah, oh
that.
yeah, for sure.
Like
It
he
was
should have
so
got kicked
shady.
out, but I don't think they could have on that
But you could
because
demote
it
him
happened
down
in
to
another
top
country.
again. Is you could demote him down to sergeant, just demote him one more time. Like if that's
Yeah,
your, you know what I'm
okay.
saying? Like
Yeah,
That's true.
we had a guy in our unit, our company who
Yeah.
now
we didn't
I-
realize it. We didn't
never-
realize it at first.
we never
We
really
didn't
had
know.
proof,
Yeah,
but
that's true too.
all of his like girlfriends were like, he would say 19. But
Yeah, dude.
all of
And he
was
was older too.
Dude, he was
older
like
than us.
30 at this point.
Yeah, he was like in his
life, dude.
30s. Yeah.
And they were like, I mean, but you saw pictures of him and you're like, Asians look young,
And
so
then he
that's what we
got-
chopped it up to, but we're like, dude, that is
Then he
not
got
what a
stationed in
19-year-old
Korea, and I think it got way worse in Korea. I think it got way worse in Korea. And it was this like weird little white dude too. It was
you know,
bad.
it always is. This
Every
lieutenant was
time.
also, dude,
He was
this lieutenant
bald,
a scrawny-
Kyle.
Yep.
He was bald, Kyle.
The same thing. The lieutenant was like a scrawny little fucking dude.
Yeah,
like,
scrawny.
always the same, no chin, can't like it's
And the guy
always
was
those
like,
dudes.
he was like 5'4" too. He was really
Yeah, dude,
short.
he was small.
Just like the size of a child.
Just so we're clear.
It's just crazy. Like there's a and Kyle, you're right. There's an incentive problem, but there's also just like there's a men problem in general.
Yeah. Also, like,
go ahead.
you got to be careful not to step on your own dick, right? And I've told this story on a few different shows, and I'll try to keep this as brief as possible because it can be quite a long story. But like the one dude I worked with, he was married for 40 years and decided that I want to fuck some strange on the side, so I'm going to completely step on my dick and set my entire life on fire because some Latina pussy sounds good right about now. If you can avoid doing shit like that, and like you said, Luke, you have to inspect a woman's room, doors open, someone else is there as a witness. Some covering your ass goes a long fucking way. And I forget what podcast I was listening to, but they said the best way to win a fight is to not be where it's going to happen. Like, my dad told me when I was first learning to work on cars and like parking shit in his parking lot, head on a swivel at all times. Situational awareness, fucking king. When you see some shit going down or you got that feeling that like something's not right, bounce, get the fuck out of there. Even if it's completely unwarranted, you're better off just removing yourself from that situation of the potential that shit could go wrong than hanging out and finding out.
Yeah, I can just imagine Luke going room to room being like, I'm entering your room now. Look at my hands,
dude.
they're above my head.
I'd make one of them stand at the door and hold it open while I inspected with a female NCO. So like there was no way. And I think I brought it up on this podcast. Like at my last job, I even got talked to because I talked to women differently and I didn't treat them the same as the guys. And I got talked to by HR about that. And it was like, look, I'm not treating them poorly. I was treating them respectfully, but
The animals they are.
But I wasn't like buddy with any of them. It's not a place you want to be, especially in a
Went
workplace.
to HR for that. Oh my god!
I got called into HR for that. Yeah,
Right? No,
And-
I know that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
I said it wrong.
But yeah, I was like, are you kidding me? And the HR lady was like, in there, it was a lady, and I was just like, look, I'm not treating them poorly. I'm just not giving them high fives. Like, I don't know what you want from me. Like,
You're in there with the HR like, listen, ho, I'm not treating him any worse.
Listen here, bitch. I don't know what these fucking hoes telling you, but these whores ain't nothing on
Like,
me.
I don't know what that fucking cunt said over there, but listen, I'm telling you this right now.
I'm tired of these second-class citizens coming up on me and telling
Feel
me
the
how I
19th.
just like in HR. But you know, it's just I don't know. It's just crazy. And the double standard is there, so you got to cover your own ass. Like
HR really ruined like modern day capitalism, by the way.
Oh, dude,
It's
HR
like
is
100%.
fucking pointless.
Yeah.
It is one of the worst like fields. There's whole degrees for HR, and I'm just
It's
like,
really a hallmonger position.
I need to get an HR
Yeah,
position.
that's
That's
what
what I need to
Yeah.
do. Fuck yeah.
I
Dude.
think you need to become gay or female, so nuts.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I think maybe if anything, I'm gonna quit my job fixing cars. Although I just got this big, beautiful new toolbox. What I would love to be like the car wash and like I think it's some kind of associate manager at Bucky's.
Breaking Bad.
They make $80,000 to $120,000 per year. Dude, I would love that kind of job. I would smile every day I wear my Bucky's hat. Oh, sir, would you like suds with that today? Yes, thank you.
Kyle presses his tits up against the car. He's like,
Yeah. Well, listen, dude, if you need elbow grease, if you need me to
into it.
scrub some fucking shit out toilets after somebody just ate 3 pounds of brisket and blew their asshole out, by all means, if you're paying me the right money, brother, whatever.
Dude,
that's a lot of fucking
got
money.
it.
That's insane.
Yeah, dude, that is
Work for our
fucking
Lord and Savior Bucky. I would fucking
Yeah,
do it.
dude. They're building one here in Arizona, dude. I'm stoked.
I'm so fucking jealous. I am so jealous.
Yeah, there's none of that in the Northeast.
So yeah, the closest
Wawa's
one,
cheap.
Adam, the closest one to us, I think, is either I think it's in Kentucky, which
Oh
for
my
me,
God.
yeah, for me, it's a 6-hour drive. For you, 12 probably.
12. Yeah, probably 12. Yeah. I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm gonna look it up right now.
The actual
I'm gonna look it up
experience.
Well,
right
actually, like it would probably be easier for you to fly down to Florida and drive the one, but it's so worth it. After I drove down to Florida, I was a believer. I mean, I converted. I'm no longer agnostic. I believe in our Lord and Savior Bucky. That's just that.
Bucky's is dope, dude. It's fucking
Oh, it's so
it's
great.
cool. You get guns, chicken nuggets, whatever the fuck you want there,
A
dude.
brisket sandwich, tank top. My wife has a pillow pet. I have a little. Where is it? Can you see it? No. Where are you? Right there is a little Bucky.
How the fuck do you spell Bucky's? Buccees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two
Double
C's,
E?
two
Double
E's.
C, double E.
Yeah.
Oh, here it
So,
is. Bucky's Boulevard, Richmond, Kentucky. Here it is.
Yeah. I'm going to say 11 and a half hours from you.
10 and a half.
11 and
Okay.
29 minutes. Oh.
10 and a half. I just said it. It's 10 and a half.
Dude, the Richmond,
10:36
Kentucky
to be
the
exact.
closest one to me as well.
Yeah, it's probably
You guys
close.
should
All right.
Definitely the
But-
closest one to you.
do
Yeah.
do a
5
meet and
hours
greet
away.
at Bucky's.
Yeah. So wait. Is that what we're going to do? Maybe for the 1 year anniversary,
Yes.
or maybe like
Is
what?
it
Okay,
Richmond?
we're on episode 53. Episode 100. We should all drive to that Bucky's
Dude.
and get like buy chairs and just record a podcast with us sitting outside Bucky's in the
We should
parking
all
lot.
just apply for that
How
position,
long would it
honestly.
take to get kicked out of Bucky's?
We should all apply for that Bucky's. I like Adam's idea. We should
Yeah.
all work there.
There we
See,
go.
yeah, that'd be sick. We all make like $120,000 a year just fucking doing a car wash together. That'd be pretty fucking cool.
That's right. Okay, yeah. So Dickie, that was the one that I think I was at when I drove down to Florida in near Pensacola. We were driving down there and I saw this and I'm like, oh my God, Bucky's. I've never been there. My brother showed me a video. I'm like, I have to go.
Yeah, I've
I
never seen
have
one
to.
in person. I'm definitely next time on the road. I'm stopping at a Bucky's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to. It's just an experience.
Sheets
dude.
is better.
It's just
How do you
get
know?
the fuck out of here.
Sam,
Kick him.
Sam,
been
you
to
will get
both. Dude, I've been to
you will
every
get
state in the country.
executed.
Kick him.
No,
Bucky's
listen,
is
dude.
not that good.
There are
Guys, it's way better.
Kick him.
Like Sheets is better to go to. It's way too.
Sam.
Yeah. Let's go. Hell
Sheets
yeah.
does have an ice cream machine though, so that's a plus.
Bucky's has guns. So
Oh, that's cool. I want that.
that is cool.
I
Dude,
do
it's
want that.
fucking it's dope. It's pretty dope. I
Just
love
so
it.
we're clear, there are so many Sheets by me, like it is ridiculous. There's one in a town I used to work in, Monroeville. There's one on the lower part of Monroeville. You drive, I'm not even kidding, probably less than 3 miles up the road, and there's another one. And then you drive another 3 miles up the road, and there's another one.
Yeah.
And then if you go right off one of these
Big,
roads,
big
there's
trip.
another one, and then
Dude,
another
that's
2 or 3 miles up
Wawa's
the
to
road.
me though. Like
Really? I'm a little
Yeah.
jealous because I love Wawa.
there's
They're
a
fucking
1,000
solid.
Wawas around me. It's fucking nuts. It's same shit, too. There's like one with gas station, one with just a regular Wawa with no gas station. I'm like, why are these two in a mile radius of each other? It's
Typo,
like,
what's around you?
Do you guys have Casey's General Store?
no.
No.
Casey's. That's the Midwest thing, dude, right
Yeah,
there.
we-
Casey's.
We got Casey's everywhere. It's like the greatest gas station ever.
That's
Besides
kind of how I feel
Buc-ee's.
about Sheets.
Yeah, I never been to Bucky's. So.
No, the closest
And
thing I have to that
Buc-ee's.
is Wawa's. So
Yeah.
That's-
We get QT and Circle K down here. That's about all we
Oh,
got.
I don't know
There's
if you
Circle K
can.
up here.
You can buy ammo at Casey's. People buy fishing bait at Casey's.
Yeah. Casey's
Oh,
Midwest Casey's is dope.
remember when Walmart used to sell guns? That was crazy.
Yeah, dude. that
Our
was like
Walmart
5
still
years ago.
sells guns.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh,
well, none of them
shit.
over
I
here
thought
do.
I thought they got rid of that everywhere.
I'm
I
pretty sure
thought-
Walmart by me sells guns. And
I thought that was.
Not by me.
I
though.
thought that was a thing too, but I think they just got them out of the cities. But then all the
Yeah,
small
dude.
towns are like, yeah, we're gonna
Savage.
keep doing it.
I'm-
Dude.
the closest Walmart by me is, let's say, not in a great area, wink, and they 100% don't have guns in that one. So
Dickie,
So are you saying that
I
there's
just want
lots of
you to
EBT,
know-
are there lots of EBT cards there?
Oh,
maybe.
I just want Dickie to know there was a Buc-ee's in Texas that I went to that definitely had a gun.
Yeah,
So,
but like you go to a fucking IHOP in Texas, they sell guns. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
it's
dude.
not fair.
There was like
Yeah,
a bank
everywhere sells
that
guns.
like you open up a bank account there and you got a free
Get a free gun.
shotgun.
Yeah.
JC, it wasn't in Kensington. That's in Philly. I live outside of Philly. That's Kensington is straight Philly. That's like that's
It's
like a
kind of
roof
funny
area.
because like there's Kensington, and then by me there's New Kensington, and I'm pretty sure Kensington's probably a shitty area too.
I would imagine. That's kind of something I noticed going around the country is like if it's a shitty area named in your area, it's also a shitty area in that area. I don't know what it is. I don't know how that works, but like that usually is the truth.
Martin Luther King Drive, baby.
Always,
Everybody
always,
knows.
dude, always. There was one in
Every
Brooklyn.
time.
Terrible.
So wait, why don't black people have dreams anymore?
Oh, no.
God.
I don't
The
know
last
why.
one
Last
that got
one
shot.
that did.
They shot the last one that did.
Okay.
Oh, that's not
that
even
was
racist.
too easy.
Okay.
I thought I couldn't have been the answer. It was like it was a big trick question. A trick answer to that.
Okay.
All right, boys, I gotta go. I gotta drive home.
Yep.
Okay.
Right on, Adam.
But
Play the
I love you
music.
guys.
Yeah,
Cue the music.
Yeah, we can end it. Or we can just end it, and I can just get
Okay,
off.
do you
with
guys want to do your plugs? I just want people to follow me on MySpace, but
Yeah. Oh yeah, Adam Nutter on Twitter, and come see me on the road and do comedy.
Cold
Go.
Bust. Biting the bullet.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I did a 4.5-hour live stream on Illegitimate Scholar Day. Go see that and then follow me.
Holy hell. In Liberty and Health, thecommoncrown.com, post 0, cognitive vigilance. And I think that's it.
Lynn Dibble is a liar.
Subscribe to us on Rumble. Go to Rumble. Subscribe to us on
Oh,
Rumble
yeah.
now. Now.
Go to
now.
Rumble.
Rumble now.
You gotta play it again. Everybody shut up. Then we gotta play it again.